Yo, 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 it is your host with the most, KDK Capri, the mentor and the mentee. So we back with another episode of the Wealthy and Healthy Podcast. I know we ain't been back in a couple weeks, so I want to come back with some heat. I know we are officially in 2025, y'all, so clap that up. I know everything is it's time to start thinking different. It's time to start doing different things. It's time to start meeting different people, right? It's time to start making new relationships, making new type of money, right? Making more money than we did last year, right? So I want to talk about like working to die this episode, right? I want to talk about why you should be quitting your job in 2025, why right? Why you should be thinking about passive income, why you should be thinking about leveling up this year, right? So think about what career you have, right? How does that job help your family, the life of your family, right? And could you be doing better, right? And the answer is yes, because the reality is we can always do better. Like that's human nature, right? We always should be striving to do better, right? So I always think of like, are you planning for your financial future, right? Are you putting savings away every month or every year or every couple days or whatever the case may be? Are you investing, right? Do you have any plans for retirement? Like, is that like too far down the line for you right now? Or is that something that you are very close to right now, right? So, and I think like if you're watching this, it means, you know, your job isn't enough, right? You need more, right? You have that tension, right? Excuse me, you have something that is that you have something that you can't measure with a job, right? You have something that you want to do that is worth more to you than a job, right? Whether it's financially or it's for your health or it's for your personal peace, right? Your mental peace, right? Your mental health, right? So like think about what drives you, right? Think about what drives you to wake up in the morning. Is it your family? Is it the money that you make or the money that you want to make? Is it the impact that you have on your community or the impact that you have on the people that you're around or the people that you're servicing, right? So how do you want to succeed this year, right? Think about what you do in times of success and failure, right? Because all we all as we all know, that builds character. That builds whether you have a certain type of professionalism, whether you have a certain type of business relationship with your employees or your boss or anything, or even your clients or in your customers, right? So think about those relationships, right? What do you do in success? What do you do in failure, right? And who's cheering you on, right? Who's not cheering you on? Who's there and who's not there, right? Think about those relationships. Think about you know, your situation. Evaluate your situation, right? Evaluate it and elevate it, right? So, and performance is everything, right? You always have to do more than what you get paid to do because it's about the service. It's not always about the money, right? And if it's about the money for you, then you know, then you should be in a service to where it's not to where you don't have to do much, right? If it's just about the money. But if you are in like a service to where you are servicing people, like to where, say, I always like to say cooking is in the service of servicing people, right? You are giving people something that they consume into their body, whether you're a doctor or whether you're a pilot. These have to be things that you have a certain type of passion to do before you get into it. Now, if you want to go be a cashier, I mean, you know, cash people out and get your $12 an hour and do what you have to do. If you want to go be a you know, a janitor, even a janitor, I would take pride in everything that you do. Take pride in doing it, right? Because there's a certain type of professionalism you have to you have to possess, right? You have to be able to get down on your knees and do the dirty work, right? Like especially if you want to hire a team, right? I always say like my if my boss is doing less than I am, but I like in your as a boss, you shouldn't be like all the way hands on, right? You That's why you hire a team. But at the same time, I would love to know that if it comes down to it, my boss is going to get on his hands and knees and get it done, right? That's how you create a work by example and a great like a work ethic and a great work community, right? A great work environment, right? So performance is everything, like I said. So how is your life affected by your choices, right? The choices that you made up to now, right? Financially speaking, or even life decisions that you've made, things that you've jobs that you've had, jobs that you passed up, jobs that you've quit, jobs that you didn't want, right? Or jobs that you wish you had, right? So think about those choices and think about what how that affected your life. Think about how it affects the people around you. Think about how it's going to affect you and the people around you, right? So always evaluate your situation, right? And think about elevating it, right? So let's talk about why you need to be quitting your job in 2025, right? Like money is a bridge for you. Money is supposed to be a bridge for everyone to get somewhere to where they need to be. That's what a bridge is. You get from one place to another in a situation to where you maybe not have been able to get over there in another certain type of way. That bridge is connecting you from one place to another, right? Essentially, right? So money can be that bridge for you financially. Money can be that bridge for you for your business. Money can be that bridge for your life, right? So think about where you want to go. Think about where you're at, right? And think about what bridge you need to take to get there, right? So I always bring that back down to never being comfortable, right? Never being comfortable in your situation, never thinking, okay, I'm cool where I'm at, right? Because the especially in corporate America, like I said this in past episodes, I'll say it again. Your position is never solidified in a business that's not yours. If you have no time sharing, if you have no no percentage in this business, your name isn't on the papers, your name isn't signing the checks, and even in that situation, and that even goes into legal discussion. But if you're just an employee, your position is not really solidified. They can have somebody who can say that they're coming in doing the job better than you. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, right? But at the same time, you have to be able to not ever be comfortable, always be looking to level up, right? And always think that you need to have something for yourself, something that has your name on it, your last name on it, right? So, like I said, that is like, think about that grass being greener. I always think like, yeah, man, the grass is greener, right? Like I know when I first started cooking in kitchens, I was like, dang, $15 is cool. But then I got to 16, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I need to get to 17. I need to get to 18, right? So you always strive to do more. We always reach a goal until we reach that goal, and then we want to then we want to go higher, right? That's the human nature. Like I said, you always have to be fruitful, right? Always be fruitful, right? What is it that you're missing? What void can you fill, right? Or what void needs to be filled, right? So that comes down to so how do you do that, right? How do you create a void or fill a void, right? You can do that financially by either buying your time back, or you can, everybody say money don't buy happiness. Yeah, I don't buy happiness, but it can buy me some time so I can go get some happiness, right? So I can find some happiness, so I can find some peace, right? So be fruitful. So what does that look like, right? That means creating a business. That means creating a product, opening a business. That means you're living your business, becoming that brand. You always have to be your dream customer. You have to want to resonate with people, right? You have to be able to say, okay, I was there where you were at, and I'm here now. Let me help you get to where I'm at now, right? And people are going to pay for that, right? So I always think like, build a community. Broke people know how to buy, right? They don't know what to sell, they don't know how to sell. Rich people, wealthy people, they know what to sell, how to sell it, where to sell it, when to sell it, right? So the value of time versus money is infinite, right? So you can't get back time, but you can buy back some time, essentially, right? Time is something that goes deeper than money, or deeper than a watch on your phone or on your wrist, right? I'm talking about buying back opportunities. I'm talking about buying back time to go make more memories, right? I'm talking about time to have with your family. I'm talking about time to have with your kids. I'm talking about time to have with your dog. Whatever the case may be, time to build something in your community, right? Time for you to go get that car that you always wanted. Time for you to go take that vacation you always wanted, right? So like I said, money is can be that bridge for you, that financial bridge that you can use to take your time back and buy your freedom back. Essentially, you can use that as a vehicle to live the life that you want to live, right? So value of time versus value of money is infinite, right? Think about what that's worth to you, right? Think about what your money is worth to you. Think about what your time is worth to you, right? So like, so I say that to say this, like, what are your retirement plans? Like, do you have retirement plans? Like, why aren't you thinking about retirement on your own terms, right? Why are you thinking about, okay, I still have this many years till I retire? Absolutely not. You should be thinking like, okay, I want to retire, right? So like, give me one second. Excuse me. But I think like, why are you thinking about Netflix, right? Why are you thinking about Netflix when you could be worrying about opening a business, right? Why are you not reprogramming your brain from changing that mindset from being a buyer to a seller, right? So always think about those old habits, and they die hard, right? Them old habits, they die hard. They die hard. So I always like to say like when I tell my students or anybody, I tell them like there's three steps to kill any habit, right? It's three quick ones, three easy things that are hard to perfect, right? And that's wanting to change, right? You have to have the desire to change, and your desire to change has to be bigger than what you were, right? The desire to change and become something else has to be bigger than your desire to want to stay the same, right? So you have to reprogram your brain, and you have to want that change, right? You have to study your problems, right? You have to know yourself, right? Know yourself, right? Know your worth, right? So once you know where you're at in life and you know what you can accomplish right now, you know what you have the mental capacity to handle, you can change whatever, you can kill any old habits, right? And you can stop. I've seen people quit cold turkey. I've seen people take years and years, and but then they clean for 20, 30 years, right? Or whatever. If whether it's quitting cigarettes, whether it's stopping drinking, whether it's not watching social Netflix all the time, whether it's not waking up in the morning and getting on Facebook and scrolling. I know that's one thing I've been trying to stop doing. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get on Facebook. Nope. I'm gonna get on my notes, and I'm gonna look at everything that I did yesterday and think about what I need to do. I like to hang stuff up on my wall. Like right now, we're thinking about well, we're not thinking about it. We're in the process of upgrading the studio, upgrading the podcast into a studio. So right now I'm actually in my home studio. So this is this is the vibe right now. But right now it's always thinking about getting bigger. Right, I was tired of doing things out of my house. Right, I wanted to upgrade. I wanted to do something better with the podcast. I wanted to build this up, and I wanted to dive deeper in it. Right, and essentially this will be a venture that I can create more value and give more value and start interviewing people. So just like I said, stay tuned. That is the value that the value of my money that I use I use my money that I value, and I value my time more. So I bought my time back. So I say, okay, maybe instead of getting on Facebook ads and running all these crazy ads, $100,000 a year on ads, maybe I just go get a podcast and start meeting people, bringing them on. We start growing a community, right? So you grow a community, you build a foundation, right? So like I said, going back to old habits dying hard, right? So you have to want to change. You have to study your problems, know yourself, right? And you have to swap it and drop it. The swap it and drop it method is you want to add instead of subtracting, right? I always say, I take it back to when I was trying to go vegan. I went vegan for a while. I've been kind of back on it a little bit. I've been eating meat here and there, but trying to eat more, incorporate more vegetables, more plant-based things into my diet, right? But I went vegan for about 3-4 months, and when I was trying to do it, I was just like, okay, I can't just quit cold turkey, but I will add on, instead of eating meat 7 days a week. Instead, I just added more plant-based things. But I also said, okay, I'm going to take one day out a week, instead of subtracting everything and just thinking I'm just going to go cold turkey. Okay, one day a week I'm not going to eat meat, and every day that I do eat meat, I'm going to incorporate more vegetables into it. If I do eat meat, it's going to be a side of vegetables. I'm still going to be juicing. I'm still going to be eating fruits every day. Instead of waking up in the morning and eating cereal or eggs and bacon, I eat fruits and juices and drink CO2 or CO3 and drink water and think about things that are going to help me throughout the day have more energy, right? So you think about the value of time versus the value of money, right? So you have to swap it and drop it, right? Add until you don't need it anymore, right? So I always take that killing those old habits is always take it down to 3 things, right? They die hard, but that's how you kill them. You have to want to change. You have to study your problems, and you have to swap it and drop it. You have to add things on until you just don't need it as much anymore, and you're not dependent on it anymore, because there is always a better alternative to old habits that you want to kill, right? So once you change that mindset and you get into that disciplined version of yourself, that driven version of yourself, you have to be thinking about, okay, when am I going to open my business, right? That has to be like the thing that's what we're working on 2025, right? We are working on opening our businesses, right? We're putting something with our name on it, our brand on it, our taste on it, our style on it, right? So how do you open a business quickly? How do you open a business without getting the funding, but more importantly, how do you open a business that's going to be sustainable and bring in passive income that you can say that this is mine, and that it's successful enough to where it can stand on its own 2 feet, right? So how do you do that, right? Let's break it down again. I say it's about 5 steps to where you can open a business in under a week. Not necessarily if you got all the tools right now, if you got everything that you need right now, I'd say jump in it. You can open this within a week. But if not, this is where you get into that planning stage. This is where you say, okay, once I get to where this is what I'm gonna need, and then when I get there, I can open my business within a week, right? So number 5, let's talk about finding your passion, right? what can you turn into a product or a service that you don't mind spending 20 hours a day on? Meaning I would wake up and go to sleep doing this, and this is something that I'm driven to do, right? Like I know if I spend 20 hours in the studio, it doesn't feel like work to me. It feels something like it's creative. I can take breaks when I need to, but I'm still getting work done and I'm still getting some bucks, right? So what is something that you have a passion for that you can create into a product or a service, right? Number 4, you want to find your audience, your community, or your market, right? You have to find someone, the community that is going to listen to you, that's going to resonate with you, that is going to be one that is going to be willing to learn from you, right? Number 3, you want to incorporate your business. Once you incorporate your business, that means the LLC, that means the business address, that means a business phone number, business bank account, that means the business insurance, that means website, that means SEO marketing, that means email list, that means so many other different things. Once you get to that point to where you have a business that has a foundation, then you can start going for funding, or you can start creating a team. You can start building your brand, and you can start building your design, your logo, your saying, your slogan, whatever the case may be, right? So you incorporate your business, right? Incorporate your brand, incorporate the 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 foundation of your vision, right? Incorporate your vision into your business, because that's what it is. The brand is you. Like I said, you have to become the brand. You have to become the business. You have to become the dream customer. Everything has to be in it has to be infused into your vision and into what you want to do, like your passion, who you want to service, right? So if I'm a artist, then I know that my business is going to have a creative name, and I also know that I'm going to have a beautiful logo because I'm an artist. I also know that I'm going to be the face because I'm the artist, right? I also know that I'm going to be able to go get funding because it's not a high risk market. I also know that I can use myself as a personal guarantee. I also know that I can go and get funding in under 45 days, right? When I just open that LLC. I also know that I need business insurance. I also know that I need to have a registered agent. I also know that I need to have all of my taxes and that type of thing in order, right? At the end of every quarter, right? So I also need to keep that in mind, and that's where it comes into hiring a team, right? So incorporating your business is all of that, hiring the team, right? Everything that you need to succeed, and everything that you need to have a flowing business, right? A moving business, something that is not going to have a bump in every road, right? So down to number 2, right? You create that product. You create the product. That's this is where things start to get fun. This is where things start to get beautiful. This is where things start to come together, right? So whether you're outsourcing, whether you're creating the product yourself, you have to think about what you want to deliver and who you want to service, right? So you have to find that team. Like I said, you need a VA. You need someone who's going to book your calls. You need someone who's going to do your onboarding and let you have time to do it yourself. You have to have someone who's going to run your social media. You have to be able to look at certain things and be able to put things on automation so that you can be the one that's the face of the business, and you can go do interviews, and you can go worry about how to make more products for the company, or how you can dive deeper into the products and become more of a guru, or say a expert in your field, so that you can then answer more questions for your customers, or be of more service to your community. You know what I mean? So put everything on automation, be consistent, right? That's where creating that product comes. When you create a product and you think it's working, even if it's not working, right? You have to be able to know what your audience wants. So when you create that product, always keep in mind, what does my audience want? What research am I doing on my customers? Where are they at? Who are they? What is their favorite color? What is their favorite movie? What podcasts and what YouTube channels do they listen to, right? That's what you always want to keep in mind when you're creating that product. Because if you spend, say, $10,000 on creating a product and creating a course, or creating and hiring a team, and doing all these things, and then you launch the product and you only make $2,000, yeah, you made some money. You made some money back, but you know you got to do better, right? So you're always going to think about, okay, I did this, now I got to think about what the people want, right? and that comes down to the service, right? So then that brings me into number one, right? You have to create that rinse and repeat system. The rinse and repeat method is the only way that you can create something on automation to where you can make passive income. That's what passive income is. It's automated income, right? So when you create that rinse and repeat system for yourself, and everybody is different. Some people have a team that does everything around them, and they just are the face of the product when it launches. They go do all the public speaking, they do all the social media posts, and that's it. But there's also people who are doing a lot of the handwork and say, hey, I build my business up from ground zero up to 100K a month. Come, let me show you how to do it. And they're doing webinars, they're doing courses, they got a VA and maybe someone who runs their social media, and they're doing the onboarding, they're doing the social media content, they're doing the groundwork, the footwork, right? But they just have some people that they outsource. Maybe they have some people that they use to outsource to make their digital products. Anything that makes your business flow smoothly to where you can put it on automation, that is going to be your rinse and repeat system, essentially, right? So let's talk about outsourcing versus that time on your hands. Let's talk about your situation, right? Think about your situation. Are you someone who has the money to outsource and hire a whole team to where you can say, okay, once this money comes in, this is what you're gonna do. This is your fee, and just run it. And I'm just gonna be the face of it. I just want to push the vision more than I want to do all the work, which is totally fine. If you want to be able to just be the one who's just being creative, I know everybody's seen a record movie or a music movie to where they just got to pump out the music, and we handle everything else, right? If your assistant is handling everything else and you just want to be the one who posts the content or goes and does the public speaking and holds the meetings and does all the talking on the phones, if you want to do all the running around and all the fun running around, you know what I mean, you want to go take everybody out to lunch and go have drinks and go meet executives and see how you're going to grow the business, then you have to be able to hire that team and have that outsourced money. Now let's talk about versus that having time on your hands, right? And this is gonna be to all those newer business owners, right? The people who don't necessarily have that income coming in from their business yet. Maybe you do have income coming from other businesses, and you're just starting to open this business. But let's think about, having that time on your hands. If you don't have the time on your hands, you're a busy individual, you want to outsource, right? But if you have a little bit of time on your hands, create that ebook. Get on Canva, watch a 20-minute video on YouTube on how to create an ebook in 20 minutes. Think about what you can use, what technology you can use to speed up the process of you creating your digital products or creating your course or creating your cookbook, whatever the case may be, right? So think about what your situation is. Do you want to outsource, or do you have time on your hands to where you can create a little bit of wiggle room for yourself and to where you can make some of those products and save some money, right? So then I want to go and transition into networking and selling, right? So let's talk about networking. Let's talk about how important it is to network, right? Let's talk about how important it is to know people who also own a business, right? Who also own a business that is maybe in the same niche, in the same field, in the same market. You guys essentially have the same market. Your customers share the same interests. That's how you create these relationships. That's how you make more money, right? Knowing more people is gonna make more money. Period, right? It's just how is how the world works, right? When you essentially, if you run more ads, you're gonna reach more people, equals you're gonna make more sales, right? But let's bring it back down to networking and selling, right? When you have, say you have customers already, say you have clients that you have sold to, say you have email list built up, or even if you're just starting and you just have a few people on your email list, maybe you have no people on your email list. You want to be able to nurture these relationships. When you get these relationships, you have to be able to nurture them. You have to be able to service them in any way. So if you're someone who says, okay, I know my team is big enough, we can service 100 clients a month to where everybody's getting exactly what they need. They're getting more than what they pay for. Like I said, performance is everything. So you always have to think about, okay, my customers are getting exactly what they need and more. So the next time I launch a product, it's going to sell like this because I already have people who know my proven system works, or know my hair care line works, or know that I'm the best graphic designer, whatever the case may be, right? So you have to nurture those relationships, right? And the selling part is, like I said, broke people know how to buy. Rich people know how to buy too, but rich people all know how to sell, so they know that they can buy and they know that they can sell, but they also are in the mindset of a seller. They're not in the mindset of a buyer because they know buyers know that you have to spend money to make money. Sellers know that too, but sellers know I make enough money. I can buy this because I know how to sell. I can buy because I know how to sell. Buyers know that they can buy because they know that money grows on trees because it does. But at the same time, money is not there. When you're broke, you don't have as much access, right? So there, broke people think about access, right? Rich people think about where's the access, right? When you're closing a box, right? And I want to break it down, right? Maybe I was speaking in circles. When you're broke and you don't know how to sell, you have less access to funds, or you have less access to resources. You're broke in the mindset, right? Rich people or wealthy people, they know how to buy because they know how to sell, because they're in a different mindset, right? You're on a whole different level because you know I can buy this because I know how to sell. I have 10K coming in automated and I also have a job or whatever the case may be. I know how to sell. So I know what I can buy. Broke people or people with less access to resources or whatever the case may be, they're going to say, okay, I need to buy because this is what I have to do to live, right? So if I go to the grocery store and spend $500 and I know that this is going to have to last me to the end of the week, or the end of the month essentially, then I know, okay, this is a broke mindset because I know that there's nothing else coming in. I have no other access to that, so I know I have to spend this to get this. Rich people know, okay, I just have to make this to get this, right? You have to create that mindset, right? So broke people, they know how to buy. Rich people know how to sell, right? So think about networking and selling, right? Once you know how to sell, you're never going to go broke, right? So, and I always want to bring it down to the resource. Like when I was talking about resources, right? Let's talk about resources. Let's talk about technology. Let's talk about AI, right? This is a big conversation, right? This is a conversation that we all need to have, right? Excuse me. So, when we talk about AI and technology, it's on our side if we want it to be, right? It's on our side if we want it to be. If we have time to spend 8 hours scrolling on Instagram, we can use say, even if you just start now, use 2 of those hours to look at what is your customers looking for. What were you looking for when you just started out, right? I know when I first started out on Instagram, and I just like I used to watch one webinar, and then all of a sudden all these different types of I had real estate webinars popping up. I think the first webinar I took was about a drop shipping store, and I opened a drop shipping store. If you watch previous episodes, you know I had a drop shipping store for about a year. But then after I watched that one webinar, I had real estate webinars popping up. I had stocks pop up. I had things about real estate, passive income, growing your own business, scaling your own business, from things like that all the way to how to open your hair care business, how to open or buy a car wash, how to do so many different things, right? Webinars just started popping up, right? So when you start looking for things, they're going to start coming your way, right? So let's talk about AI and technology. AI and technology is on your side if you want it to be. You might say, okay, I want to write a book, right? Some people, when they're writing a book, whether it's whether they're typing it and they're giving it to an editor, whatever the case may be, some people take years and years to write a book, right? I wrote a book in 2 days using AI, right? Say I get on AI Genie, or say I get on ChatGPT and I say, okay, now I'm not saying use it to write your whole autobiography, but what I'm saying is get in there and say, okay, hey, I need say I need the format for an autobiography, right? Say I need the format for an autobiography. Give me the format so I can write my autobiography. It's going to give you, okay, this is what you need to put in chapter 1. This is what you need to put in the introduction. This is what you need to put in chapter 2. This is the points that you need to talk about in each. This, and it's going to give you a fast forwarded outline so that you can write your book in 2 to 3 days, right? And then now you already got it set up. You can send it to the editor. Boom, it's already ready in a week, right? Now you're ready to sell, right? So think about how AI and technology can be used and utilized in your business, right? And like I said, you can use it for so many different things. I've used it for brand names. I've used it for logo design. I've used it for digital creation, like repurposing my videos. There's so many different things that you can use for AI and technology, to where you can even hire a whole virtual assistant team of AI, and everybody will do everything for you. They'll do social media marketing, they'll do client research, they'll do onboarding, they'll do customer service, everything that you can do, everything that you can think of, you can use AI and technology for, and you can outsource that as well. So let's think about outsourcing versus having that time on your hands. Thinking about how this can help you sell, and think about how this can help your network and help you network, right? So let's talk about how fast this approach can help your business or help you start a business and change your life, right? Think about how fast this approach, think about how fast you can reprogram your brain and kill those old habits, right? The wanting to change, studying the problems, the swap it, drop it method. Think about how fast you can really open a business if you just sit down and plan it out within a week, right? Or within 30 days, within a few, intervals of, this week I'm working on this, next week I'm working on this week, now I'm ready to launch, right? Think about how this approach can change your life, right? Always working in furtherance of opening a business or growing your business, scaling your business, right? Think about how that approach can change your life. Think about how this can change your pockets, how it can change your bank account, how it can change your kids' life, how it can change your mom's life, right? Think about these proven systems, right? Because proven systems and drives are the only way we can succeed as entrepreneurs. And this thing that we call entrepreneurship, this hard, tough way of making money, right, until you figure out that it is the only way that you can truly make money, instead of working a 9 to 5 or things of that nature. You always want to be able to use that as your bridge, right? Like I said, use money as that vehicle to get your freedom back. So think about how these proven systems and your drive added with that can create that passive income and essentially create your financial freedom, the life that you want to live, right? Think about how this can help you succeed, right? Or even just be able to navigate through failures, right? Even being able to navigate your finances, being able to deal with a loss, being able to deal with opening a new business and dealing with the initial cost of starting a business, right? So think about how this can help your life, right? Think about how this can help you succeed. And always searching and finding for those like-minded people, always searching and nurturing those relationships is going to be the only way that you can sustain your community and sustain your connections, right? I always hear people say, okay, if I started right now and I had no connections, the first thing I would do is go make connections, right? And that's something that I live by, right? You have to be able to go make those connections to be able to then in turn make the money that you want to make. More connections equals more money, right? So think about, what like-minded people need to be in your corner, right? So that brings me to the quote of the week, and the quote of the week is going to be another powerful one. I want to speak to the parents. I want to speak to the elders. I want to speak to the people who have essentially came up before us and paved a way. Right now we're beginning to pave a way for the people that are coming after us, right? So the quote of the week is, don't give your kids / the youth. We're gonna put / the youth in there as well. Don't give your kids / the youth what you didn't have. Teach them what you didn't learn, right? So teach them what you didn't know. Teach them the things that you wish you knew coming up, right? Teach them how to save their money. Teach them how to spend their money. Teach them how to go find better opportunities when there is a better opportunity, because there's always a better opportunity. You always want to, like I said, be fruitful. You always want to look and see, how can I become a better person? How can I make more money? How can I service more people, right? So how can I do this in turn with making the money that I want to make, right? So, but you have to teach, like I said, you have to teach them. It's all about teaching. If I knew about credit when I was 16, 17, and I'm only 21, I turn 22 next month. But if I knew all this when I was like 17, 18, I'd probably be like got way more money than I do right now. But it's just like, you have to be able to say, okay, I want to learn, right? And I want to be taught. And you have to learn from people who have done it. You have to be able to learn from people who've lived it, right? So, like I said, don't give the youth what you didn't have. Teach them what you didn't know, right? So that's a quote of the week, right? Think about that. Think about how, like I said, this approach to changing your mindset and reprogramming your brain can help you change your life, right? And helping you make some more money to where you can go on that dream vacation, to where you can buy that dream car, to where you can go get your mama a house, you know what I'm saying? To where you can just be able to have that room to live your life, right? It's like I said, we were not born to work and die, right? So that's why you should be thinking about quitting your job and working for yourself in 2025, right? It's the year. This is our year, right? We gotta get some motion, right? We gotta get some money this year, right? So this is how we gonna do it. We gonna We're gonna work, and we're not gonna die. We're gonna work, and we're gonna retire on our own time. We're going to be able to navigate through our own success and our own failures. We're going to be able to pay ourselves. We're going to be able to pay the people that we want to pay, work with the people that we want to work with. That's what we are doing in 2025. We are going to help ourselves. We're going to help our family. We're going to help our community, right? So just think about that, thinking about wanting to change, right? Thinking about how you're going to change and what you're going to do this year, right? So, like I said, I think, I think, I think this year is gonna be it's gonna be. I'm speechless right now because it's like this year is gonna be different. It's gonna be different, and I don't know how we're gonna get there, but we're gonna get there, right? And we're gonna get there together, right? So we're coming every week with that heat. We're gonna keep coming back. I know we ain't had the studio. I mean, we ain't had the podcast up in a while. Like I said, I'm in my home studio, so it's a little sticky right now. We're in the process of moving up, so everything is kind of in in upgrade mode. So we're kind of off the grid a little bit, but we're still coming every week with episodes, and we're gonna keep coming back to y'all with that heat. Again, it's KDK Capri, the mentor, the mentee. This is the Wealthy and Healthy podcast, and I'm clocking out right now. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and we gonna keep coming back. And just let me know how y'all feeling about the podcast. Let me know. If there's anything I could do for y'all, book a call. Everything will be in the links below. You know what I'm saying? So just hit me up and let me know. KDK Capri, mentor, mentee.